In the YouTube sphere, drama and commentary videos rule over a large portion of content consumed by users. Whenever I go to eat and pull up YouTube like the understimulated quintuple screening iPad kid that I am, I often search for drama and commentary videos. I love learning about new and old degens and the cringes the internet has to offer. However, since 2022, I had one account dominate my Explore feed. With bright thumbnails and rage-baiting titles, Ablaze took over a certain niche in commentary. Disordered fakers, vegan teachers, and anything cringe on TikTok, best believe he made a video on it. I had enjoyed the fake disordered videos at the time since I saw a lot of people faking it all over communities I was already in, like the cosplay community. I felt justified in my anger and enjoyed seeing someone with the same mindset about it speak up so uncensored. If your brain is not melting out your ears like mine and you don't know who Ablaze is, allow me to introduce you to Commentary SLOP. But before I get into the topic, you should like and subscribe and comment yippee down below to support me in my first commentary video. I don't know if yippee will help with the algorithm, but it's the first word that came to my head. Also, let me know if there's any advice you have since this is my first real video and I've never done commentary. Anyways, now back to the video. Who is Ablaze? Ablaze is a drama and commentary YouTuber who has been doing anti-cringe rage-baity-esque commentary since 2018. But before discussing TikTok content as he does now, he would comment on Dr. Phil clips. Incredibly unoriginal for the time, but it got him a decent amount of views to start out with. Of course, he didn't just stick with Dr. Phil, he talked about other trash TV, as well as taking a stance against SJWs and feminists, which was popular at the time. However, a theme remains. Since the beginning, not only were his topics unoriginal and done over by thousands of creators, but he still had heavily edited thumbnails and rage-baiting titles. Although over time his thumbnails had only become more saturated for the half-brain cell consumers. His content for the past few years has been directed towards TikTok cringe, disordered fakers, vegan teachers, and fat acceptance cringe. While his original content had at least a semblance of real personality and his authentic thoughts on these topics, now it seems muddied down to an almost factual essay format, of which it is not. He has been reposting the same content so much. He posts about once or more a week, just pumping out the same mediocre or worse videos, not willing to change out of his original formula that got him engagement, which leads us to where we are now. So for about a year starting in 2022, anytime I would sit down and eat, I would typically pull up some of his fake disorder cringe videos. However, around 2023 to 2024, I noticed a striking problem with his content. It kept repeating. And I'm not just talking about the topics itself, I mean you would see the same person, the same topic with little to no updates posted again and again and again. I watched him kick, beat, and brutalize this dead horse for years, and the comments don't seem to notice. I was once using my friend's YouTube account and saw them following Ablaze, so I told them about how bad his content has gotten, and they admitted to not noticing, and later said they thought they had just rewatched the same video, not realizing he basically made the same video over and over again with minor changes. The big reason he has to repost the same video so much is not only because it got him a lot of views, but because disordered fakers have stepped out of the spotlight, so much that he can really only cover the same ones from the past to get attention. In case you don't know about disordered fakers, allow me to pop your brain rot cherry. During lockdown in 2020, everyone was sat at home bored, starving for connection and attention. Many teens saw the connection people with disorders had with each other and attention those who spoke up about their disorder received. It was like an exclusive club to get into. A big Kickstarter into this was Anthony Padilla's video where he spoke with a few individuals with DID, a disorder revolving around individuals with what is described as multiple people in one body, all with different personalities, experiences, memories, and individualities. It is a very stigmatized disorder with a hard time getting a formal diagnosis, as these quote-unquote personalities don't remember or know when they switch. One of the people interviewed was Dissociated, who was popular in the niche community of DID individuals speaking up about their disorder. She was a pivotal role in the popularization of DID and the information about it, which was questioned by some only because those who have disorders should not be the ones saying who does and does not qualify for a diagnosis. Every experience is different, and you are not a professional for having a disorder. However, a lot of attention-starved teens saw that video and ran with it. all of a sudden a rare disorder is being self-diagnosed amongst half the internet's teens. I would often ignore a lot of those claiming to have it because it is not my place to fake claim, as they would like to call it, and not all were necessarily harmful to those with it diagnosed. What these fakers didn't realize was that professionals were having a harder time diagnosing it more now due to the amount of delusional teens coming in and claiming they have DID, pushing stigmatization not only amongst the internet, but in medical spaces as well. However, a lot of kids would see those videos and like an infection, it would spread even more. Everyone is now coming out with an alter introduction video based off Dissociated's videos, and now every teen with a phone is a psychiatrist with a degree. Rapidly, it was no longer just a DID diagnosis, it was Tourette's, POTS, BPD, and more. This trend of disordered fakers created content for creators like Ablaze who would come out and make videos on these people. Initially being one of the first and getting a lot of traction with making videos on disordered fakers, his videos started off entertaining and fresh, and seemed like there was an endless stream at the time of fakers. He also had a Tourette's diagnosis for years, and although he admits it is not as intense as some others, he was still able to express his personal experience with such a disorder, and added as to why he cared about speaking out against fakers. However, as the years went on, there is now rarely any new juicy fake disorder content coming out anymore, unless it is a 13-year-old with 24 likes on TikTok saying they have the entire cast of Has-Been Hotel switching around in their head. It was the big trend of 2022, and now that content fountain has dried up. As for his other content, Crazy Beacon sure yes still exists, but that Beacon teacher has been banned for a while, and now the only content you can make on her is the ones on her downfall. I was unsure about the extent of how bad his content repeat was, but this dude has made over 7 videos on Ticks and Roses alone. For a bit of background, Ticks and Roses was an infamous TikToker in 2022 for faking Tourette's. However, her downfall was swift. It was easy to disprove her claims, along with her family speaking out, saying she has never had Tourette's, and her account was eventually vanished. Yet somehow, Ablaze was able to make over 7 videos with her in the thumbnail alone, and rarely does a single new thought ever get added to one of these videos. The entire video is just him discussing her entirely with no change, and then at the end adds, "By the way, she's been spotted on the internet, nothing important, the end." Absolutely riveting new information, Ablaze. I didn't know the unemployed would have survived without your video. Thank you for your service. This is just one of the many topics he repeats over and over again to pump out content almost once a week. Sometimes the editing changes, but just about everything else stays the exact same. One of the only major changes he has made in the past year is the way he speaks and his editing. Although his thumbnails and titles are from the simpletons of the internet, he speaks as if he's running a TED Talk, with editing reminiscent of Visual Venture, except Ablaze has nothing to say and nothing productive to the lives of the employed. Ablaze's videos are now regurgitated slop about how cringe these people are and how it is bad and not good to fake disorders, with half the video being some sort of fake infographic about whatever the main topic of his video is, making it seem like he is doing research into the negative effects of what he's talking about and making it seem as if he cares about the well-being of others, when in reality we all know the reason he posts the exact same video constantly is obviously for views. He says he has Tourette's and that's why he cares, and I'm sure it does bother and affect him, but his content is still slop every time. As well as his new style irks me beyond belief due to the fact that it makes it seem like whatever comes out of his mouth is anything important. I'd rather him stay true to whatever his content is, which is meaningless slop, and act like it. Cuss and yell in the mic, call them cringe, do whatever, just stop pretending like your video actually matters. Everything about your content is slop besides the way you try to speak in your new Visual Venture style ripoff editing. Looking at his account is kind of depressing. The way he takes his videos semi-seriously, the way he's barely grown in the past 2 years, the way his content has stagnated, is cringy to see. Instead of me just being a hater though, I will say, he clearly has some talent for YouTube. The way he speaks, the editing, the eye-catching thumbnails, the titles all prove he knows how to draw in and possibly even keep an audience hooked. However, he should switch his content and find new topics to talk about. His account reminds me of beggars. He feeds and reproduces what got him views and is the pinnacle of unoriginality. On top of everything, he's British. Unfortunately, content farms like this are not new. They have been covered for years as similar accounts make quote-unquote news update videos about popular drama or events where they regurgitate the same info already put out with either a bunch of filler opinions or with the addition of random Twitter users' opinions or meaningless claims added. It gets sad when you realize that these people have a talent or skill and instead use it for slop and easy money. I would like to see a real topic change from Ablaze, but I doubt he ever will, because he's been doing the same thing consistently since 2018. But the dude has real talent. However, that'll be the end of this video for now. If you enjoyed, please express it by liking and commenting, possibly even following if you trust I'll make any new content soon. I'm more active on my other socials, which will be down below. I also have art commissions open, so shoot me a DM on Instagram if you're interested and want to discuss prices. Anyways, Eastbo are out. Stay unemployed, chat.